In this video, we're going to talk about Amazon Kinesis, the AWS platform for working with data that's constantly being generated. As more systems produce continuous streams of events, metrics, and logs, you need an efficient way to collect, process, and react to that data in near real time instead of waiting for batch jobs. And that's where Kinesis comes into play. Kinesis is a family of AWS services that helps you collect, process, deliver, and analyze streaming data in real time. And when I say streaming data, I mean the data that is continuously flowing in as individual events or messages, instead of being written once and just sitting in a file or a database. Let's make that a bit clear. Streaming data is information that keeps coming in, often in small messages, all the time. For example, a mobile app sending usage statistics every few seconds, a fleet of delivery vehicles sending their GPS locations as they move, or a web application sending logs and error messages while users are actively using it. In all of those cases, the data doesn't arrive as one big chunk of data. It arrives on a consistent flow of a small pieces of data, and you often want to process it as soon as it comes in. Now, Kinesis is a product family with different members, and each member focuses on a specific kind of streaming use cases. All of them deal with the data in motion, but they solve slightly different problems. So let's dig into each to understand them a little bit better. Starting with Kinesis data streams. Kinesis data streams is usually the core service people mean when they say Kinesis. It lets you build your own custom pipelines to receive, buffer, and process streaming data in real time. Here's the big picture. You have producers that send data to Kinesis data streams. Kinesis holds the data for a certain amount of time, and then you have consumers at the end that reads and process this data. You get fine-grained control over how data is partitioned, how many consumers you have, and how they scale. Producers can be things like backend applications running on EC2 or containers, mobile apps sending usage events, devices in the factory reporting measurements every few seconds, and basically it doesn't really matter what kind of data they're sending. The important thing is all these producers send small records into Kinesis data stream, and inside this stream, the data is stored in units called shards. Shards are really important to pay attention to. They define cluster capacity, the scales of read and writes, and the throughputs of them are totally reliant on the number of shards. A shard is basically an ordered sequence of records, and each record has a unique sequence number, so consumers can read them in correct order. Now, what are consumers? Consumers are the applications or services that read from the stream and actually do something useful with the data. These can be AWS Lambda functions that trigger automatically when new data arrives, applications running on EC2 that continuously pull data, process them, and push results somewhere else. It's also worth mentioning that you can even have multiple independent consumer applications attached to same stream as well. One of the other information that you need to know about Kinesis data stream is that it keeps the data for a limited time. By default, the retention period is 24 hours, meaning that every data and every message that comes in is going to be vanished and eliminated after that retention period. You can extend it up to 365 days if you need longer historical access, and this means your consumers don't have to process data instantly at the moment it arrives, but they do need to process it before the retention time is over. The next member of the family is Kinesis video streams. As the name suggests, this one is specialized for media streams, especially video. Instead of regular text or JSON data, Kinesis video streams focuses on things like video feeds from security cameras, video from smart doorbells or home monitoring devices, and streams from industrial cameras watching a production line, for example. It takes care of reliably ingesting, storing, and indexing these media streams so that your applications can play them and analyze them. For example, you may have a machine learning application that detects objects or people in the camera feed, or a monitoring dashboard that lets operators view live and recorded videos from many locations. The key differences of these two Kinesis family members we just named relies on the type of data for ingestion. Kinesis data streams deals with general purpose streaming data, which are logs, events, telemetry, and so on. But Kinesis video streams deal with media data, which are audio and video mostly. Now, moving on with another important member of the Kinesis family, Kinesis Data Firehose. Kinesis Data Firehose is all about taking streaming data and delivering it automatically to destinations like S3, Redshift, OpenSearch, or even some third-party tools. With Firehose, you don't manage shards or build a separate consumer application. Instead, you configure where your data is coming from, meaning your producers, and where you want that data to end up. For example, an S3 bucket or a data warehouse. Optional transformations like converting or enriching the data along the way is also supported, and the whole idea that it gives you is like designing a system that acts as a set it and forget it delivery pipeline for streaming data. Firehose can take care of scaling the data ingestion, batching, compressing, and encrypting the data for you, and then reliably delivering it to the final destination. A simple use case could be your application sends log to the Firehose, Firehose buffers and processes them, and then continuously write them to S3 in a format that's ready for analytics and further reporting. And the last major member of the Kinesis family is Kinesis Data Analytics. This service lets you run real-time analytics directly on your streaming data without building everything from scratch. You can connect this service to a data stream or a Firehose stream and then write queries using SQL or other supported runtimes to detect patterns or anomalies while data is flowing, or calculate rolling metrics like average values over the last few minutes, or create real-time dashboards and alerts. This turns your streaming data into a live analytics source instead of something you analyze only after it's stored. Some of the common use cases of this service is continuously monitoring sensor readings and raising an alert if a temperature crosses a threshold, or tracking website events and computing live metrics like active users in the last 5 minutes or so. Basically, it gives you the magic of instead of waiting for the data to be stored somewhere and then you run your batch analytics on them, you can get insights as the data arrives on the fly. All right, let's summarize the key takeaways you need to know from Kinesis family and wrap this video up. Kinesis data streams build custom real-time pipelines for general streaming data. Producers send events. Kinesis stores them in shards for a limited time, and consumers process them and send results somewhere else. Kinesis video streams designed for video and media data. You stream video into AWS. Kinesis stores it, and then your applications can analyze or display that video as needed for monitoring and computer vision. Kinesis Data Firehose focuses on easy delivery of streaming data into storage or analytics tools. It automatically scales, buffers, delivers data into services like S3 or Redshift. Kinesis Data Analytics lets you run real-time analytics on top of the streaming data using SQL or other runtimes formats. It can help you with detecting patterns, compute rolling metrics, and drive dashboards and alerts from live and on-the-fly data. Okay, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Hope this video was useful for you. Please make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.